Miss J, can you sit outside my door tonight? And can you be the one that wakes me up in the morning? These are the adventures of a temporarily out of work wife and mother. And Saturday night, I spent the night in the woods with y'all kids again. I got off at 7 a.m., came straight home, cleaned my house, did laundry, had a meal, got in a tub, and crashed. And while I was asleep, that sunshine of mine had company. That lady's son that I married made some chicken and lamb burgers with fries. And everybody had a good old time, but they failed to clean up behind themselves. So I started my day the way that I always do, turning on the light over the turtle habitat, plugging in the filter, giving shelter a little bit of food, lighting the candle of the day, and then tending to Gemini and Luffy. And as you see, one of these dogs has a tendency to tear up her bed, so she got the innards all over the dang on floor. I got that cleaned up, I got them fed, let out, and then I tackled the kitchen. Now, if you don't already know, I work part-time in behavioral health at an inpatient residential treatment facility for youth, ages 12 to 17. Saturday night, I worked at the girls' house. And when I came in, those young ladies should have been asleep. But one of them, the sweet angel who never gets in trouble, if you don't know, that's sarcasm, was wide awake and waiting for me. See, one of the things that these children do is they check the file every day. They want to know who's working with them today. And it does not take long for them to know the schedule. But they also know that there are call-outs and vacations and other reasons for PRN staff like myself to be on duty. So every day they ask the staff, who's working second, who's working third, who's coming in tomorrow, and so on. These children are looking for a semblance of normalcy. They like routines and knowing what to expect. But they also know the staff. The same way we're watching them, they're watching us. So they know what they're dealing with, and they know exactly the personalities that they're going to get. And while I do not play with kids, I do not care whether they like me or not. I am not seeking their approval, and I am not their friend. I do treat them with love and respect. And they do not have to love me, but they absolutely will respect me. And not because I say so, but because I show up giving as good as I get, and giving what I expect. And by now, all of the children that I work with know exactly what to expect from Miss J. They know that if they're having a hard time sleeping, if they have a bad dream, if they need to have a difficult conversation in the middle of the night, if anything in their past has told them that they are somehow unsafe when they are at their most vulnerable, they can look out the door and see me sitting there. And while I can't sit outside of every door, and whomever I'm working with on shift has the right to choose their own seat, if they ask, I will oblige. They also know that if they have the pleasure of having me wake them up in the morning, it'll be done gently and with care. They won't have to worry about anybody banging on the door or the wall, having their name called loudly or yelled, having the lights turned on while they're mid-sleep, having the temperature abruptly change in their room because the fan that they'd chosen to have placed in their room overnight has been removed, or having the sound machine that's been providing them with white noise all night abruptly shut off in the middle of a good dream. And then having the silence that they've been enjoying bombarded by outside noise. Because while it would be completely inappropriate for me to share with them my trauma or the source of it, they have been learning an important lesson from me. I've been trying to teach them that trauma informs your behavior. But your behavior does not have to be negative to be trauma informed. You get to choose how you show up. You also get to choose what you learn from your trauma. And my trauma has taught me that one of the best ways to start your day is with kindness and gentleness. I'm not really a morning person, but if I have to be woken up, I prefer that it not be aggressive, angry, pushy, or the like. I prefer to start my days peacefully, with soft tones and caring words. As a result, my children can attest that their entire lives, if I needed to wake them up, they will awaken with phrases like, "Good morning, beautiful." "Rise and shine, sweetheart. It's a wonderful day to have a wonderful day." "Rise and shine and let me see those beautiful eyes." "Rise, shine and give God the glory." Or a song sung with their name in it. "Good morning, Isis, how are you?" To which they'd respond, "I'm fine." The same way that I've woken up my own children, I wake up y'all's at old dark 30 in the woods in residential treatment. Pause. I got the scare of a dang on lifetime. It's been raining for 40 days and 40 nights here in North Carolina. And baby, the ants tried to take over. I had to reapply my home defense indoor-outdoor spray and get those things gone. But anyway, back to y'all children. No matter where they've been or what they've done, no matter what the day before looked like, I'm determined to help them start the new day well. So much so that it's become a part of my reputation. So one of my little sweethearts said, Miss J, can you sit outside my door tonight? And can you be the one that wakes me up in the morning? The next morning, conversation was had about how sweetly Miss J wakes everyone up in the morning. And one of the other little sweethearts said, do you wake your own children up like that? When I said yes, she asked why, and I reminded her about the conversation that we had the week before, where we talked about trauma-informing behavior. And then I said, that's a good example of applying a lesson that you've learned from trauma and allowing it to have a positive impact on your own behavior. It just so happens that she was the same young lady who didn't believe that that was possible the week before. My point, whatever you've been through, whatever has happened in your life, God can use even that. And he also wants to use you. If you're still here, then let me know in the comments. What negative experience have you been intentional about turning over to God and allowing him to use for his glory and your good? Every negative experience is not trauma. It doesn't have to be. But if it happened to you, let it happen for you. Find the lesson and use it to inform your behavior in positive ways. Be the change you want to see.